Good evening, YouTube. This is Kaylin String coming at you with number 5 in my series of the 2012 pack date Sopacko low sodium MREs that have no drinks in them whatsoever, and the same sides. Maybe the jam or jelly might be switched up, but other than that, everything else is the same except for the mains. And as I've said before, I have several duplicates of some of these mains. I've played around with a couple, one of these, the vegetarian ones in one of my recipe contest entries. So for my drink, I've chosen a British orange flavored hot chocolate. I used one of these when I made mochaccino for the recipe contest, in which I use the Minotaur coffee and the powdered milk in addition to this cocoa mix. I have quite a few of these orange ones, so I decided that I can go ahead and spare another one of those. So I'll be having that by itself in my Amaray Nation mug, because this calls for 500 mils of water, but I'm only going to fill it up enough to fill this mug instead of the full 500 mils, because then it would just be like a super thin drink. And then my cold drink will be one of the 2 Chinese drink powders that I got in my last box from foreignMRE.com. So the 2 identical ones. So I decided that I'll put the Spanish one back, and I'll pull out this one. It does not tell me how much water to use, so I'll just guess, and I'll just fill it up enough to fill my drinking jar. So, and of course, I have my foreignMRE.com spork. I will be using that. I got my bottle of cold water for my cold drink. I most likely will not use all of that, but I just grabbed that. And I went ahead and pulled out my Parmesan cheese, because who doesn't like a little cheese on the ravioli? So I've noticed in this one, when just examining this particular bag, that the pepper is loose. There's the top of the spoon right there. And you can barely see the napkin underneath the ration heater. So again, the napkin and pepper are loose, and I do not see the salt-free seasoning. So I guess we'll find out if there is one of those in there, because sometimes that has gotten skipped. And these have the peelable seal. These do not have menu numbers, so if you get one of these low sodium Sopacko cases, you don't know how many of each menu you're going to get, or how many different options you will actually have in the box. So I'm deciding to go ahead and open this up as I wait for people to come in. I have 2 pots of water on the stove. I got my 1 burner sorted out that was not working right last time. I completely cleaned it out. Then I just let the contact air out, and so that should be good to go. So it is working. I did check it. And I told people in the Ration Museum channel earlier that I go live at 7 p.m. Central. And when I was planning these out, I will go ahead and say now that on the 26th of this month is the day that I leave for my family trip. And because that is a Sunday, there obviously will not be a stream. So the stroganoff will have to wait until after I get back. I will come back on the 31st. So there will be a stream the following Sunday. So that is when I will bring out the Chef 5-Minute Meal Stroganoff. And I will decide what will go with it. So I may either raid one of the MOREs, the Modular Operational Ration Enhancements, to get stuff out of there to go with that one. Or I might just pull some other stuff out of my stash. I have a ginger pudding out of a British ORP. And as I've showed before, the British puddings are more like a sponge cake, a very dense one that is covered in a sauce. And those are typically eaten warm. Although when I used one in one of my 2 dessert entries for the contest, I did not warm it, or I did warm it. But I also have another package coming from Minotaur Trading Company that's supposed to be delivered tomorrow. Or not tomorrow, but later on this week. And I have their version of the cold weather more. I do not have any of the mil-spec cold weather mores, although I would like to get a full set of those. So hopefully that'll come in the future. But once I get that, once I see what's in there, I may raid that one. Or who knows what I'll do. But anyway, see if anyone has well, I see Prep Ford is in the house. Fordman is here. And there is another new name. Francis is in the house. So now I'm going to show you what I have in these bags. So if this is your first time seeing one of these low sodium civilian MREs, so I get crackers, get the flameless ration heater, which looks very much like the mil-spec one, except this is called Sure Pack Meals is what the brand is on this. But other than that, it looks exactly like the one that you'll get in a standard MRE, with the instructions and the 4-digit date code, which is right here, and the numbers got squished, but it is from 2012. So I will not be using that because these older ones, I prefer to boil them, because even if you put salt in some of these older ration heaters, they may not work. They may not get very hot, so I boil it instead. And instead of the brown spoon, this cream-colored white one, again, which I will not use. No, but you can find lots of them on eBay. You just have to be certain that you're getting the ones that either are made in foreign countries, and a lot of them work very well, or you get get the mil-spec green ones that look like this. But sometimes the older ones with the cardboard element can work. They take longer, but Old Smoky has made them kick off. Shocker 71 has made them kick off. The one that I did try, it did not. So here, the strawberry jam so far has been a constant in these. And I have grape jelly. It's always interesting, in the same case you get different conditions of these jams and jellies. Some may be good, some not. Another thing that stays the same is a maple brown sugar double stacked Pop-Tarts, and they are fused, so you cannot even split them. So you just basically eat it as one, as if it was one Pop-Tart. This one had 2 napkins in it. So that's the first time I've seen 2 napkins in one of these bags. No, because peanut butter has a higher sodium content. So that's why you would not see peanut butter in any of these. So this is a commercial pepper pack. Sometimes you'll get these in some fast food joints where you get 2 divided off sections of pepper. I've seen salt in the same way. But this one does not even have the no salt seasoning. And this Tootsie Roll feels like it's in pretty good condition. It's not squished. It looks square. And I just put these bags at the back of my table because I just use it as a trash bag. And then here is a date code on the ravioli. It's kind of small, so might not, this old thing might not focus. I'll see if it'll focus. It might not. $22.33. That's the date code on this thing. So there is a date code on the pouch itself. The reflection might be hard for you to see that, but so I'm sticking the box in the bag. I'll just set that off to the side. That's okay. It'll probably have a bit more flavor than I'm expecting this to. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the cocoa mix . That goes into the 4-MRE mug. Now this one, I'm really hoping that this has a nice, pleasant flavor. It's been a few years since I've done any Chinese rations, and I can't remember what the drinks were in those. But this one does not have a tear notch, but I'll get the cheaters out for that. There's not a number that I can tell on how much water to put in this, so I'm just going with the drinking jar size. The color is a bit of cream color, almost the color of the spoon. Kind of hard to tell. It kind of looks like the Tutti Frutti that I used last Sunday. So I am going to assume that this will be a tropical type flavor. It kind of looks like a cloudy pineapple juice at the moment. So I'll put that there. Now what I'm going to do is put that there, and I'll go toss this in my boiling water. And this feels a bit loose in there, so I'm sure there's a whole lot of sauce. Some of these have tended to feel quite dense before they're heated, so we'll see what this is like. And I'll be right back. This is probably about 400 mils of water in here. I'm just guessing because I just chose to go up to this level. I'll stir both of these later on after I open up everything else. The orange flavor in these is not extremely strong, but there's a hint of it there. You can get the scent of it. So I will put that back there. Oh, speaking of foreign MRE, look who is in the house. There is Art from foreignmre.com. I have the Chinese drink in the drinking jar. Well, one of them anyway. Last Sunday, I used my new mug from Will at Just in Time Prepping for my hot drink because I wanted to show how that works. By the way, for those who have never seen that super chat before, this thing went a little crooked. Let me fix that. There we go. Yeah, you see that $sign next to or below your chat line, depending on what you're watching this on. That's a way to kick a little coin in to help support the channel. So I just opened up the Tootsie Roll. And because I now have a much cooler apartment, thanks to my air conditioner getting swapped out on Thursday evening or late Thursday afternoon, I am not sweating a horse in here. So these will stay a lot more solid. I'm going to see who else showed up besides Art. Katie's in the house. By the way, one of my next order from Foreign Emery is going to be one of those HDRs, if there are any of them left, because I do want to try one of those out. And depending on which menu I get, I might do a direct comparison video between one of those and one of these Sopackos. Well, that didn't rip too well, but oh well. These are always double wrapped. And this is a package that reminds me of something that an institutional food service provider might use to distribute to their clients or employees. For instance, that you go to a hotel that has continental breakfast, you might have one of these, or a school might use these. You know, a company cafeteria might use these. You know, because normally when you buy Pop-Tarts, you buy a box in a store and each one is individually wrapped. But this, see, it says 2, but it's no thicker than a wheat snack bread. That is how tightly they got squeezed. You almost cannot eat the frosting layer, except right there on the ends you can see it. But they smell perfectly fine. Got the strawberry and grape here. Sometimes you get apple instead of the grape. It seems like the strawberry is a consistent one. Now it's time to see what the crackers are going to be like. There's a bit of a hiss. Sometimes these can come out pretty easily without too much damage. Sometimes they're just a crumbled mess and, oh, only a few crumbs. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a little bit of each spread on the cracker to see what it looks like. So here's the grape jelly. Some of these can be a bit runny, so have them stacked on top of their pieces of cracker. Now here is the strawberry jam. I'm giving it a bit of a squeeze because sometimes these can separate. I'm going to put some of it on this piece. The grape is pretty runny. It's already soaked through the cracker to the cracker layer below it. And nothing underneath that one. I'm going to mix my drinks one more time. This one seems to have mixed pretty well. I'm not feeling any more of the powder on the bottom. I'm going to give the cocoa another mix. going to go ahead and give this grape a taste before it completely runs off. This one, the grape is a bit low on the flavor. This is kind of like the way it was last Sunday. And this is a strawberry. It looks brown. That strawberry has tasted better in some of these. I mean, it's not bad. It just tastes like it's been around a while. But it smells fine. The flavor is just not quite like a fresh strawberry jam. I broke open the double stacked Pop-Tart so you can see how squeezed it is. It's so thin in the middle that it looks like one layer instead of two. And even top and bottom layers, they look like they've been squeezed. But it still smells fine. I'm picking up the cinnamon and the maple and brown sugar flavors. Yep, that tastes just like a Pop-Tart should, only with a denser crust because it has been squeezed so much. I'm going to take a drink of this. Now, this Chinese drink is not all that sweet, but it is kind of like a tropical flavor, but I get kind of a floral note when I take a sniff of it. Just a bare hint of one. So it may be one of the ingredients is something other than fruit or a sweetener. It could be one of the extra nutrients that are put in there. I'm pretty sure that's like a carbohydrate or electrolyte drink or just a vitamin drink. But I don't get a strong acidic flavor like a pure citrus juice would give. It's still not bad. Well, this Tootsie Roll it looks a lot different than it did last week because of my air conditioner being so messed up. I mean, the ends are a bit shiny, but it's still pliable. And I just broke it so you can see what it looks like on the inside. just keeping it cold makes it a little firmer, but it's not so rock hard that you can't chew it. But it's not so overheated that it's just a sticky mess. That makes it lose its flavor. Well, that didn't break the way I wanted to, but oh well. It'll still work. Probably made the hole in the grate a little too small, so it can be a little clumpy too, but I'm getting more of the liquid part of it out, but that's okay. So I'm gonna check the, that's okay, Ford. Thanks for dropping in. You made it, so well, see you on another one some other time. So I'm going to go ahead and get the ravioli out of the pot because it should be done. And I'll be right back. I'm going to slide this over here. This is just like a dome lid to one of my pots, and I just use it to carry my boiled pouches in. I just wiping it off with a paper towel so that it's not only easier to handle, but it's hard to handle a hot pouch when it's wet. I'll put that back there. Shaking it like this because the tear notches go this way instead of the way these pouches used to be in the past where they go this way. Well, I was right about the sauce. There's definitely a lot of sauce in there. There we go. I even did a little bit of the sauce on the cracker. But see, these raviolis are miniature. That is how small they are. It definitely tastes like there's almost nothing in it. See, there is the ground beef crumbled up by itself. It almost tastes like it has a bit of a sweetness to it, and the sauce looks a lot lighter in color than, say, Chef Boyardee. That's right, I did it. I shook some parm on it. I'm just kind of mixing that in so that while it's still warm, it can absorb. I might end up even throwing some cracker crumbs in there to kind of soak up some of this sauce. I dribbled some on my Pop-Tart. Oh well. Yeah, the cheese definitely knocks down a little bit of that sweetness that's in this. We'll see what this does. It doesn't add any of the salty flavor, but it does give a little extra texture because these raviolis are extremely soft. I just bit one in half. You really can't see anything inside it. But this is still not too bad. JW's in the house. Thanks for dropping in. There is Plum Bob. There's a name I hadn't seen before, so welcome to you. What you're looking at is a low sodium beef ravioli, mini raviolis from 2012 from Sopacko. It's from their low sodium case that originally had 14 rations in it. A lot of them duplicates. The penny with sausage and crumbles has the most duplicates in it, so I can have some fun with the other ones. And there is CT. There you go. All mine. Even though it does look a little weird. That's what the grape jelly looks like. It does look a little weird. It tastes a little weak. This other one is the strawberry jam. It looks almost as dark as Russian apple butter. And it should be more red. But the flavor is there, just not as good as it could be. I just took a drink of the orange cocoa mix. I have had the jalfrezi with lamb. I have had the beef stew. I have had the ratatouille. And I think I've had the chicken. Those are the only ones that I've had so far from the U.S. halal MREs. The British one, I've had the chicken with dal in both the 12-hour and the 24-hour rations. And I've had a fresh halal one. And I can't remember what that one was. I'd have to dig through my library to find that particular video, but that one was awesome. Yeah, it's an orange flavored cocoa mix. You can smell it, you can sort of taste it, but it does not dominate the cocoa. It just gives it that little extra layer of flavor, which is actually quite nice. I like it. And because it's not quite like a U.S. hot chocolate mix. Oh, it is. You know, some of the British drinks can be a little different. You know, their cola drink mix, it's a little odd, but I did an experiment where I literally mixed that with some carbonated water. So I have that in one of my videos from a few months ago. I did that. Sometime last year I did that. And then I also, in another video, I did my version of lemon lime soda with carbonated water, the true lemon and true lime from Minotaur, and some sugar. And I mixed that up. So I couldn't quite get the Sprite or the Sierra Mist or 7-Up, but pretty darn close. I didn't have the citric acid or ascorbic acid or anything like that to give it the same flavor as any of those sodas, but I'd say it worked out pretty darn well. I'm throwing a few more pieces of cracker in here. Especially the pieces that have the sauce already on it. Now this ravioli is so soft. It's like it was overcooked. And with pasta this small, it's easy to overcook it. See, that is how small that is. When you think of a regular ravioli, it's closer to this size. I think even the Chef Boyardee mini raviolis are bigger than this. They're probably a little bit bigger than this size. But when I was feeling the pouch and felt that it was quite loose in there, I had a feeling that there was going to be a whole lot of sauce, and I was right. Because sometimes these pouches have felt a little dense before I put them in the pot. And earlier, some of you said I put a few shakes of that on. Just because I can, just because I got it. I had to do it. Because this is kind of on the sweet side. And I don't think a ravioli should be sweet. Huh. Well, that would be interesting to see what Baxter's does with ravioli. See if they do it any different than this. Hopefully it's better. Hopefully there's actually something inside of the ravioli and not just like a double layer sheet. That's pretty much all of the meat is in the sauce. Well, it'll definitely be interesting to see what that looks and tastes like. Taking a sip of that Chinese drink definitely knocks down that sweet taste too, since it's not all that sweet. I'm kind of curious how that would mix in an iced tea. Now, if you get them like this, where they're double stacked and compressed, yeah, there's no way of separating those. It's just not going to happen. It's just going to be a crumbled mess. Well, there is Daniel in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Reduced sodium from Sopacko. This is from 2012. And strawberry jam, grape jelly, which have both seen better days. This Tootsie Roll. It's starting to absorb the humidity. It's humid in here, but nowhere near as bad as it was before I got my air conditioner swapped out. I mean, on the day that they came to take the old one out and put the new one in, the temperature in here was like 80, almost 85 in here. And the bedroom it got up to 86 Fahrenheit. And the humidity was above 65%. And that is not good for long-term food storage, especially storing rations, but because I keep them inside of a box, or I use my soft Coleman cooler to keep some of them in. And I've been keeping these in the original box. And I threw my Minotaur filled French toast ration in that box with the rest of these that I still have in there to keep that in good shape, although I have no worries about that one. There is Sean from the Ration Museum. Thanks for dropping in. Low sodium beef ravioli with all the beef in the sauce and none in the raviolis, which are that small. And because these have no drinks with them, I have a Chinese electrolyte drink. It's kind of citrusy, but it has a bit of a floral note to it. It is not all that sweet, which is fine. And then I have a British orange cocoa mix. You get that orange flavor and aroma, but it's not overpowering the chocolate. These are not numbered. See, there is no menu number. There's no menu name on here. You only get the menu name from the box. Well, these are 2012 pack dates, so I don't know if like 2018s or 2019 pack date low sodium MREs will be in the same type of packaging, if the mains will be inside of a box. I have seen in videos where some have opened up newer versions of these. Again, no drink. This one had 2 napkins instead of 1. It had the pepper, but not the salt-free seasoning packet like some of the others have, so it's hit or miss on that seasoning packet. And one of these had 2 ration heaters. Not one, but 2. Yes, this is from Sopacko. And this is their branded ration heater. It looks just like the ones you would get in a U.S. Government-issued MRE, right down to the date code. But the spoon you get is this, and not the longer handled one, which would be fine if you were eating this, the main out of the pouch, because of the tear notch went sideways across the length of it instead of across the one end. But of course, I have to use my 4 and MRE spork. But I got this from a site that still sells these cases, but they only have the newer ones, probably 2018 or 2019 pack date. That site is called mremarketplace.com. And I looked at that, and now it says 16 meals per box, where this one had 14. So either they have dispensed with the boxes for the mains, or they have packed them even tighter somehow to get 2 more in the case. And of course mine had that inner cardboard piece around them. I don't know if the newer ones still have that or not. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, that would be up in Alaska or northern Canada, I'm assuming. Depending on how far up you are in latitude. Many years ago, I went to school with a guy who did spend 2 years in Alaska when he was a kid, and he had moved there from another state. And then after leaving Alaska, he came here to Iowa, and he's been here ever since. But he thought that was kind of weird to get used to the all dark during a couple of months in the winter and all sunlight during a few months in the summer. That's okay. A trucker's got to do what a trucker's got to do. Amberetta is in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Yeah, I am almost finished off with this mini ravioli. So that is how small it is. Oh, nope, that was a piece of the cracker I put in. Yep, I'm down to the meat and the cracker bits that I put in, and I put a few shakes of, yeah, I did that. Yep, this is the slightly serrated edge on the fork. This is titanium. And if you do get it slightly bent out of shape, especially the tines of the fork, you can easily bend it back. Again, foreignemery.com. You can order this as a single item, or if you get one of their ammo can packages, you would find it inside the ammo can along with whatever rations they put in, depending on which one you get. And in the past they've put shirts in, but you have to tell them what shirt size when you order one of their shirts, which I do have. And you can get the coffee mugs. Plus you can get stickers and magnets. Yeah, they have been around for a few years, but because of some issues with customs and USDA, they have gone to selling American rations and a few foreign items like the German 1987 pilot emergency ration, which I have one of those. But until I got into ration museum streams, I was going to review that one, but I'm keeping that closed. I may get another one to actually review, or there's Pat Miller in the house, thanks for dropping in, or I may review the one I got and get another one. Foreign Emery has some of those, and I've seen them on Emery Mountain, but I think the Foreign Emery price is a little better. But either way, I am going to get another one of those so that I can review one and leave one closed, sealed up. And then after I review one, I will send both of them, or I'll hold on to both of them for the Ration Museum, so when they are ready to accept new items, when they hopefully get into the new space that he's trying to get, I'm still going to offer that up, so that if he does not have that particular type of ration in the collection, I'll get it. This little goodie. I took the Foreign Emery sticker off. Sorry, Art. It says emergency ration. It's in German and English and French. And down here it says NATO approved. So this would be Western. There we go. 1987. And it has all kinds on each side of the box. Instructions, contents. This has the compressed food bars. It has water purification tablets. And it has tea powder, or it says tea extract. And it's just in this green box. So a pilot would have had this in his or her kit. So if he or she had to bail and had to go find some place to lay low for a while, this would be in their kit, and they would have this to supplement whatever could be gathered from the area that they would be in while they wait for rest. So I don't know the calories on this. Yeah, I really do hope you can get that space. So you can have something like this added to your collection if you don't have this already. And this box is in great shape, despite being handled by a postal service who knows how many times before Art and Nina got it and then sent it to me. But it was easy to peel the foreign emery sticker off. So this is somewhat similar to the Chinese emergency rations that I have, but those are only the food bars. They don't have the water purification tablets or any kind of a drink in it. Oh wow, there is James Ortiz in the house. I'm showing the, I would say, West German emergency ration that I bought from Foreign MRE a few months ago, that I'm offering up to the Ration Museum. So the ones that I have are just the food bars. The pickled vegetables came out of, at least the ones that I have, came out of their regular rations that had them. And oddly enough, this was made in Norway. See there it says, my Deutsch is not all that great, but Norwegian, I'm assuming would be the correct pronunciation of that. But just having a piece of history like this is pretty awesome. And it's, to me, it was worth the price I paid for it. So if I can get another one of these, I'll review it and send what is left of it for the Ration Museum to display, along with a sealed one. I think History Saver would probably like seeing something like that. I think he would probably flip his lid over seeing something like that. He collects journalitaria as well as U.S. stuff. Although he is more into the World War II stuff, he would probably like seeing this little goodie. Yeah, as they don't contain any nut oils in them, I would definitely go for a nibble. That's probably what I will do when I do crack one of these open. I will probably just nibble one of the bars. I'm assuming they will all be the same. Here, up here at the top, it feels like that there's a bit of a void. I'm guessing this is probably where the tea extract and the water purification tablets are. And from down here to the bottom is actual food bars. And there's a little bit of movement when I shake it. So the bars are no doubt wrapped inside. Now this is... This would be... Well, next to the first generation brown bag emery that I reviewed last month, this would be probably one of the oldest items that I would be tasting. That is, unless I get a hold of some MCIs or ration cold weathers or the B, some of any of the B units. The other things like that would be like older than this. I'm just putting some more of this strawberry jam on a cracker. But for those that have not watched the Ration Museum streams, go check them out and subscribe to his channel. Oh yeah, he has the bread cans on the site, and I think he has B2s. And he has the same type of bread that I had, that Art and Nina sent me with that first generation MRE, the diced beef menu 8. They sent me one of those breads in the dark brown wrapper. I could not find a date code on that one, so I don't know the actual age of that one. But Minotaur Trading Company has that same bread on their site along with the canned bread. So mine was actually pretty decent. It tasted a little odd, but the texture was just like a normal bread. It was not anywhere near the same as the more modern wheat snack bread. And it was an actual wheat bread. It was more in the style of the Australian bread, just a wheat, not a white. And I like that Australian bread that is in the CR1M. But if you get one of those brown packet breads that's in really good condition, it'll be perfectly fine. I had no issues eating it. I didn't get any weird aftertaste. None of the weird sensations like I did when I took a nibble of that chocolate brownie, that one had completely gone south. And the cocoa was just barely drinkable, but I ended up not finishing it because the taste just wasn't right. And the creamer for the coffee was not right, so I had another substitute creamer. Now, the coffee was a type 1. Yeah, that one had completely gone south. It smelled fine, it looked fine, but I was really wanting to eat everything else, and my drink mix from that MRE had gone south, but I had another one, so I had that iced tea mix, so I used that instead. So I was really chugging that one down. Some of them can have nuts in them, and if they've gone black, you know that it's bad. You don't even need to taste it to know that it's gone bad when they've gone black. So mine might have had nuts in it. Yeah, it just depends on which version you got. But that was my first time having that sensation. But I'm actually glad I did it, so I know what that sensation is like. And it doesn't take very much to get that when something like that gives you that. The crackers in that one, that was very unique because I had 2 different hole patterns in the one pair of crackers. Yeah, I have not had one of the vintage tan bags. I've only had from like 2012 or 13 and newer. I haven't had one of those other ones, like the first generation of the tan bags, but that will change. I will get a few of those because there are some menus in there that I do want to try that are currently not in the lineup. But that will be later in the year when I get some of those. And I also want to get back into foreign rations, but because of what customs and likes to do, if you order a foreign ration from whatever seller, whether it be eBay or one of the established ration sites, it can be hit or miss whether customs will rate it or leave it alone. Aside from those that I bought that I knew had been rated, I have not had any issues with any rations that I've ordered from other sellers get rated when they get here to the U.S. There is Dub C in the house. Thanks for dropping in. My ravioli is gone. It had a bit of a sweet flavor, which I thought was inappropriate for ravioli. And they were so small it would be like what's above my thumb. That's how small they were. And there's nothing inside them. The beef was all in the sauce. And because they're so soft, I threw bits of cracker in there, gave a few shakes of my parm, and that definitely helped. And CT was in here earlier, and he said that ravioli is going to be in the IMP lineup probably maybe next year. Yeah, this low sodium ravioli, there was no herb flavor in the tomato sauce, and it was lighter than normal looking tomato sauce. I can probably scrape up a little bit. See how orange that is? It should be a darker red, or at least you get the canned raviolis. It's a darker red than this. And the raviolis themselves should be filled with something, but these were not. But since this is from 2012, I don't know if newer versions of this would be made different, if they've improved it, or if it's just the same. And of course, the double stack Pop-Tarts that are fused. Normally, if you just lay two Pop-Tarts on top of each other, they would be a lot thicker than this. This is no thicker than a wheat snack bread. And you can't separate it without busting it to smithereens. Well, if you get these low sodium Sopacko MREs, that's what you'll get. And it's always the maple brown sugar. I don't know if they would change it up, put different flavors of the Pop-Tarts. And you always get a Tootsie Roll. You get no peanut butter, but 2 jams and jellies for your crackers. And you get no drink. So I get into my stash, and in my last box from For an Emery, I got 2 Chinese isotonic drinks, or electrolyte drinks, whatever they are. And so this is one of them. It looks like the British Tutti Frutti in color, but it's nowhere near as sweet, and it has a bit of a floral note to it. And orange cocoa mix from a British ORP, which is really nice, especially if you don't use the full 500 mils of water. You make it a little thicker. That brings out the flavor more. It makes it a little richer. And the crackers are standard. The MRE crackers that you'll get in any other MRE. The grape jelly is a bit runny. Of course, I made a very small hole instead of making it bigger. But the runner bit literally soaks through the cracker. And the grape flavor in this one is not as strong as in some of the other ones. And the same with the strawberry. It looks like Russian apple butter instead of a strawberry jam. That would be a bit more red. But the flavor is okay, but it could be better. But no, I'll finish these off. These are still perfectly edible, and I will finish these off because that's what I do. Yeah, that one and the grapefruit. If you can get those would be major scores. And I would love to get me some more of the boiled sweets. I've had 3 flavors of those so far. I've had the blackcurrant, the lime, and the lemon. The lime ones were from the 2012 12-hour ORP that was sent over from Nem's MRE. She sent them to Nathan's MRE, and then he in turn spread them around after keeping one for himself to other reviewers. So I got one of those. So I've had the lime ones, and then I've had the lemon ones. But I think the blackcurrant boiled sweets are my favorite so far of those. I've never had the strawberry ones. Oh, traversing food. The grapefruit is his favorite flavor of the ration drinks. And I think they have even made an appearance in some German rations that he's had. I've had a grapefruit from a British ORP, and that I really like that one. I do have a Canadian raspberry that I'll probably save for another time. Yes, they are if we could get those here in the States, that would be absolutely awesome. You know, when I got those, I kept those in my purse, and so every once in a while, if I wanted something to suck on, I would just pull one of those out and suck on it. And just savor that flavor for a while waiting for a bus. But even the lemon ones are good. I just would like to try some of the other flavors. Trying to see if I can make a little bit bigger hole. There we go. So this is what the grape jelly looks like. I just enlarged the hole in the packet a little bit. The grape flavor in this is a bit weak, but it still tastes like grape. But yeah, it's been fun getting into these, and then getting into my own drink stash to find something to go with them. And then next week will be the last one of these, because I only got 6 different menus in it, and there was only one of the ravioli, so I do not have any more of this ravioli. So I've been alternating between the ones that have the meat in it, and the meat has been beef, or the vegetarian ones. So the 26th, as I said earlier, I will not be streaming because I will be at Lake Icaria, which is the lake and campground that my family used to go to when we were kids. That was my late dad's favorite Iowa lake to go to. And several years ago, my mom paid Adams County a certain amount of money to get his name put on one of the benches that surround the lake. And so they have cabins over there, and we get cabins every year, which makes it a lot easier for my mother. I don't think my sisters even have their tent more. I may be the only one who has a tent for camping. I actually have 2, but one is big. One's is described as a 5-person one, but then I got a smaller 3-person one, but I got a hole in that one, so I got some tape that I'm going to try to fix that with, see if that'll work. But I need to get some seam sealing tape and treat the seams, and I need to do that with my privy too. And I need to sew new tabs on my privy because it got a bashing during the Memorial Camp in March when we were down at Steve Brahms's property. Oh yeah, we have we bring us. One of my sisters brings a camp stove and a propane tank, and then one of my other sisters is usually the one who brings the bulk of our firewood. Here, when my nephews went into take this to pay for some of the firewood. And, you know, we all share in bringing. Sorry about that. I got booted. I was about to say that I'd go get some halal meats like beef bacon, maybe some beef halal hot dogs. Yeah, because some of what my sisters and my mom will eat is we also try to catch fish. My great niece. Oh, sorry, I got kicked off again. Yeah, if you go to your state's Department of Natural Resources, or you go to county conservation, however they term it in your state, or province if you're in Canada or some other country that divides into provinces, you go to whatever authority governs the campgrounds. Sites that have RV hookups where you can hook up to electricity and water, so you don't have to go water and purify water. They got showers, and they have a kitchen that has a microwave and a fridge. They usually have, but we bring an extra one. Hot water for something. Not because ago, I was frozen for a bit. I could tell because I was not seeing my own hand movements. But anyway, I'm going to call this one done before I get kicked off again. But again, the 26th, I will not be live because I will be at camp. And so when I come back the following Sunday, on the 1st of August, then I will go live again. And that's when I'll pull out the stroganoff. That one is just the entree and utensils, napkins, and a ration heater. But I'll boil that one because it's an older one, just to be honest, instead of a ration heater. But so that will be on August 1st. So again, one more Sopacko to do, and then I'm skipping town. I won't shoot any video because it only put it up. You can look at the streams that have already happened, discuss what the plans are, trying to get a good space to properly display everything, and to take new pieces for the collection. So yeah, go check out the Ration Museum Trading Company. From Foreign Emery for dropping super chat. That's greatly appreciated. So thanks for watching, and catch you on the flip side.